Oh, is this before the before the flag? No. All right. We have the November meeting starting. If everybody was here for the last one, you know why Rick isn't here, Mayor Roberts. First things first, we have a new council member to take the oath of office. Karen?
You'll come forward, please. Ready? All right. I, and state your name,
I, Vicki Benefield,
swear or affirm
swear or affirm
that I will faithfully perform the duties
that I will faithfully perform the duties
of council member of the city of Ball Ground,
of council member of the city of Ball Ground,
and that I will support and defend
and I will support and defend
the charter thereof,
the charter thereof,
as well as the Constitution and laws
as well as the Constitution and laws
of the state of Georgia
of the state of Georgia
and of the United States of America.
and the United States of America.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Now, if everybody would please rise, and we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Man, that sounds better with a full house. That was great. Yeah, that's pretty weak, just a few of us up here. Okay. Item 3, approve the agenda from the week before. I always look to you for that. You weren't here? Oh,
This is the agenda.
this is, I'm sorry, the agenda is, I'm sorry. Been a while since I've done this one. Yeah, this agenda. Sorry.
We're asking to add 2 items to the agenda. It'd be item 9F, which is consider resolution supporting the truck bypass. We're asking to add item 9G, which is consider resolution in opposition to increase in weight limits. In table, we're asking to table item 8A is advertised to consider reading of annexation application. And to table item 9A, consider application to extend the Valley Overlay District. And legal counsel said we can make one motion and incorporate those changes onto the agenda.
All right. Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? All right. Anybody signed up to speak? Nope. All right. Public comments, I imagine we're done the last meeting. Announcements, Sir City Manager.
December 3rd,
That's right, Santa Claus comes to
Santa
town.
Claus coming to town.
If you have not been downtown for the Christmas parade, you have missed a real treat. It's something to see. Is that it?
That's
No
it.
project, okay. Okay, now, approval of the October 14th council meeting minutes. Were you here? Yeah. October?
I'll let you-
You're gonna have, nobody else is here but you and me.
So approved.
How do you even do that?
You'll have to second.
I have to second it? Second, okay, that's interesting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So, the last meeting that was discussed, we're tabling all that. 9F, resolution to support,
Hang on,
what?
go back to B.
I'm sorry, did I miss one?
8B.
The second reading of the ordinance.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was, I'm getting confused. Consider second reading of an ordinance allowing an increase in license fee on insurers and to impose a gross premium tax on insurers. You want to explain that to us again?
This is a second reading. This follows the GMA model ordinance in the State Insurance Commission. There's a license fee imposed on insurers operating within the state. It's based on population of communities. So after each census that is updated, and this will increase the annual fee from $25 to $40 per insurer.
And that's something that happens because of the population.
Increase in population.
Right, that's right. All right. Do I hear a motion? All right.
Second.
All right. Any other discussion? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Mayor's term. All right, now, 9F. Resolution to support the truck bypass. Now, I tried to skip a couple of them, but Eric straightened me out. Or Karen did, I'm sorry.
Over, it's on the back.
Oh, my goodness. All right, can I just start over? Here we go. Okay, that's what that is. Okay. That was 9A. That's what I marked out on the front page, which was old B. Here we go. Consider ratification of submittal of public safety grant supplement for $5,000 plus.
Right. The state of Georgia has made a one-time $1,000 salary supplement to first responders. Individual has to have been employed as of August 15th. The city went ahead and filed for that and been approved. The state, we have 5 individuals that qualify. So we're looking for approval to go ahead at this time and in the next regular payroll cycle to include that $1,000 benefit to each of our police officers. The additional funds, I think it's $396, is the employer share of FICA that the state is also funding. And once that payroll cycle is complete, we'll file for the reimbursement and receive those funds back.
That was very worthwhile. Have a motion?
Second.
All right. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. It's about time, right? That's right. All right. 9C, consider ratification of submittal of state grant for sewer system improvements of $1.2 million.
Correct. We submitted a grant, again, for the state ARP funds, $1,290,153. It'd require a local match of $409,847. Still evaluating, we could pay cash for that or qualify the project for a GFA 1% loan. What this project would do, and I think I've got it on the next slide, Chris, the section in red, that's from Sage Hill to just south of Airport Road. We would upgrade our sewer force main from a 6-inch main to an 8-inch main. And then the 2 red dots are 2 lift stations, Howell Bridge Road and Sage Hill. It would fund the upgrade of both of those lift stations. That project has been submitted and is under review. The governor's budget, Council on Budget and Appropriations is the one that is evaluating these applications. Just need a motion to ratify the submittal.
Any further discussion? All in favor? 9D, consider authorization to open checking account, construction account.
Right. As you know, we can't just open accounts at staff level. We have to have council approval. We're asking to open this account to receive the funds from the loan proceeds to construct the police station. So we're ready to move forward on that project. We did close the loan. Those funds are being held in escrow. As we receive invoices from the contractor, we will submit those. The bank will deposit the funds into this new account. We'll pay out of this account. We'll close this account at the end of the project.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. 9E, consider authorizing appraisals for potential land swap. Straighten out some property lines.
Right. If you'll look on this, this is Groover Street there at the bottom of the survey. And Chris, if you give me a little cursor there at the part right on the survey line in the center. There you go.
There we go.
So the area, that area right there. Our property. What we're asking Mayor and Council for this evening is permission. Appraisals. We have to have appraisals to make sure we're doing an even property swap. Yes, ma'am.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Mr. Manager? Oh, did I miss that one again? Okay, I need to write on both sides of the paper from now on. 9F. Truck bypass support. Sorry.
Truck bypass support, the application for the transportation improvement plans are being submitted to the Atlanta Regional Commission. As we stated, our project is going forward as a top priority from Cherokee County. We're asking Mayor and Council to adopt a resolution in support of that application for the truck bypass, asking the Atlanta Regional Commission to bring that project forward in the Transportation Improvement Plan to 2025.
Absolutely. All right. I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
So moved.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? 9G.
The Forestry Association is petitioning the state legislature to increase weight limits on log trucks and haulers from a 84,000 pound weight limit to 100,000 pound limit. We're asking mayor and council, and GMA has requested this as well from cities across the state for a resolution opposing this legislation because of the increased burden on the roadways that weren't designed to handle those types of loads.
Absolutely. As just a side note to anybody that's here, one of the reasons that we have a problem getting the trucks out of town is because they're not allowed to be on federal interstates because they're not allowed to be as heavy as our state legislatures have decided they could be. So they have to stay on the small roads, and they're already tearing up the small roads. Okay.
Just
Motion to,
motion to approve,
Oppose this?
to oppose it, yes.
all right, I got a motion? Second. All right, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Now, Mr. City Manager.
Looks good. Closed out October, combined fund balances of 1.9 million, 610,000 in the general fund, 90,000 in SPOS with 1.2 million in utilities. For the month of October, our revenues, on the next slide, Chris, the total revenues for the month were about almost 401,000 against expenses of 381,000. Year-to-date revenue at 1.59 million against expenses of 1.25 million. Each of you will have a detailed financial report in your council packets. Capital improvement update from things we talked about last month. The Depot Street resurfacing has been completed. The Valley Street sidewalk replacement has been completed. Little backfilling there still to do, but the concrete install is complete. The Civic Drive turning radius improvement has been completed. The retaining wall at Calmer Park, which it is beneficial to the park, but the main purpose is to provide for the future widening of Old Dawsonville Road in that area. The retaining wall is done, and I didn't get out there this afternoon, but I think forming is well along to be able to receive concrete tomorrow or early next week. On the sewer system SCADA upgrades, the materials have been ordered for our last major lift station, which is Sage Hill, and materials for the two grinder stations, smaller stations, will be allocated for next year's budget. On the Old Dawsonville Road widening, the retaining wall is complete. As I said, curb gutter and sidewalk scheduled to be poured Tuesday of next week. And the spring of 2022, we should get the widening project underway in that area.
Is that going to be road all the way?
There will be a sidewalk, but the road gets widened as well. And it'll also have a handrail. It's, nobody goes off. Pending GDOT requests and actions, we were notified that they have completed their traffic study for the crosswalk at Lantern Walk Drive and Coyam Holcomb. So hopefully a decision will be coming soon on that. The right turn lane widening at the traffic light on State Route Business 5 and 372 is, the design work is complete and is on the GDOT bid list. So that should get out to bid soon and get a contractor on that. The stormwater improvements in the vicinity of 420 Gilmer Ferry, materials have been ordered on that. Kind of lost track of that. At the time of ordering, I think they told us 7 or 8 weeks before we get materials. GDOT is going to perform the work, but they won't schedule the work until we have the materials physically on hand. Stop sign addition or relocation on State Route 372 to make a stop sign with Old Dawsonville Road at Gilmer Ferry. is currently under GDOT review. And also our request for stormwater drainage installation on State Route 372 from Northridge up the hill towards Roberts Lake Road is also under review. Our shout out to Officer Matt Young. He's the Ball Ground Officer of the Year and was presented with that this month down in, I think that was at the Moose Lodge in Canton. Still trying to get through and prepare as best we can for the new lead rules that we're going to have to be dealing with in the water system on new testing sites, and trying to get an inventory of where our lead services are in the system. We don't believe we have any lead services left in the system, but they want us to find a way to prove that. So short of digging up every service, we're trying to come through and get a better idea in the system of where they possibly could be, and then start spot checking individual services. And the last item I have tonight is we are reviewing right now a new district model ordinance. For those that aren't familiar, we are part of the North Georgia Metro Atlanta Water Planning District. We are required to abide by their rules. One county north, you have to play by the same rules. We're different because we're in the metro area. They come out with a new model ordinance on items that we would need to, or actions we'd need to take during drought periods. Some of them get pretty creative, and so we're evaluating that now. It's out for public comment. We'll see how they'll impact us. But right down, one of the new ones that jumps out, if you have a swimming pool and there's a declared drought, you have to cover your swimming pool at any time nobody's in it to prevent evaporation and conserve water. So just, these are things where, like I said, we're evaluating them right now, and we'll provide some comment back to the district. In some areas, that's impactful. There's not a ton of swimming pools and ball grounds, so I'm not sure how much water we'd really conserve by making folks cover them. The next item we're going to go into tonight is, and don't want to keep everybody longer than they want, but we've asked Mr. Luley to put together a presentation on the city's website, especially in the area of planning and zoning, where you can find information on the website for pending and approved projects in the city, and how to find that information on the website.
Just real quickly, I'd like to go through what zoning actually is. I've had some questions. Zoning, so I'm sure some of you know what it is, some of you may not, but here we go. Zoning is actually the division of relating of those divisions. Talk about the regulation. Zoning regulates the land use, whether or not you put a house, garbage dump, Publix. Relates the densities, 1 unit per acre, heights, and other characteristics that come with property. Every property within the city of Ball Ground has its own zoning. You can see here, this is kind of a snapshot of downtown Ball Ground. The blue means one thing, the brown means another, and the green means something else. I said every property has zoning classification. Right-of-way doesn't have zoning. So you see the rail line, and then our city streets, they don't have zoning. But any sort of developable property is going to have a zoning. Sometimes our properties are what we call split zoned, where you might have a nice clean 1 acre box to live on, but you have two different. Splitting it in half, meaning you have two sets of regulations. Imagine that is not ideal. What we heard earlier, we talked about overlays. So you have your sort of base zoning that you're looking at here with these colors. And in some areas you have a zoning overlay that lays on top of the base zoning. What that means is that property is subject to an additional set of rules. Purpose of these is, the overlay is trying to accomplish something specific in look at our Valley Overlay District. In that previous presentation, there's a nice over showing you where the Valley Overlay is. So, super quick run through of zoning. Now just a brief on zoning rights. We said all properties have some sort of a zoning designation, and with that, they have the right. You may live on a piece of art. That means that you're allowed 1 unit per 40,000 feet, amongst other things. A private property owner may develop their property within these rights at any time, for the most part, without ever having to go before the city council for any kind of approval on what they're trying to do. It's a pretty basic property right that we have in this country. So that means your land uses, your densities, all that is locked in. What private property owners are allowed to do is change their zoning, or at least seek to change their zoning. And that goes through a process. Fall grounds process is rezoning application goes to, which is a county level planning commission. They make a recommendation. Recommendation comes back to city council decision. Changing zoning, if the city were to change the zoning of a property without the owner's permission, that's considered what is legally called a taking, and the city would owe compensation for that taking, meaning they'd have to pay. So I guess in the past maybe year or two, we have built the city's GIS, that stands for Geographical Information Systems. This is available to the public anytime, computer, from your phone, presentations in the past, but we want to do you all again because we have made some changes to it. The list is so wide, but here you go. You can see the zoning of the city. You can see the outline of the Valley Overlay District. You can come over here, toggle these layers on and off. Toggle zoning off, Valley Overlay off, toggle on the annexations and de-annex. So, I'm not sure you all are on my computer, so bear with me. If you click on this piece of property, every one of these kind of orange-pink polygons is an annexation or de-annexation application. So, I think you're seeing the information when you click on that specific to that parcel, telling you about the annexation of when that property was here. Made for that annexation. Scroll through and kind of follow along with it. Wait until the resolution signed by your city council granting them an annexation into the city limits. Having here too, should be in here. Site plan. So, back and look at whatever year this was, I don't remember, but there's a site plan and a zoning that they could come and develop pretty much at any time. They have that land use right. So I wanted you all to be familiar with our zoning. There's a lot of other stuff, with our GIS, there's a lot of other stuff on there. If you're nerd like me, it's fun to play around with. And we show our growth boundary from 2010. We show our historic district. We show a water and sewer area. Check out the home. So please, if you're interested, take a look. That's all available from our website. It's pretty easily found. That's just some screenshots. Yes.
Jurisdictions, I'm familiar that if a developer asks for, you show the plan and ask for, and then act on this for a number of years. And it reverts to the original zoning after.
I don't know that we have that in our local codes. It's something we've talked about.
Happens, whatever. Wait,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if there's a
The
process.
zoning itself, once a property is zoned, it's zoned, and the zoning wouldn't revert back. That is a question on that
But if
approved
they
plan.
present you with a site plan, you never act on it, or at least.
Yeah, it's possible. We'll have to do some more research on that, but.
This planning and zoning information, how long has it been on the city website?
So this annexations and de-annexations layer specifically has been on there since maybe August. GIS has had a number of layers and multitude of information. Zoning was one of the first ones we put up. Another question we get a lot is what's the difference in the zoning map and the future development? Zoning is all, it's fixed and defined. That symbolizes a private property owner's property right. And so it's not going to change unless the process plays out that we or this is what you're currently seeing on the ground for the most part. Go into, say, Cherokee Village, those kind of yellow squares are going to correspond. Future development map is more of a kind of a consultation tool. It's when a rezoning comes before the city council, it can use that to say, okay, proposed rezoning either meets our map or it doesn't meet our map. So for the colored areas on the future development map, the purple urban core, it has suggested land uses. It has suggested some other things in there. But that's just a tool that, okay, this rezoning is, you know, in the urban core future development map area. Does it meet those suggestions? So it's no hard and fast law the way that zoning is. That's all I've got.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, sir. Eric, did you have anything else? Good. Okay. I'm not going to speak for the mayor. Andy, you got anything? Lee?
Well, just every month, I like to thank our police department for what a job they're doing. Really appreciate it.
Yep. Miss Vicki?
Not yet.
Okay. Darrell?
Fortunately, no.
Okay. I'd like to congratulate the new council members and that'll be coming on. We've got one sitting here now, 2 more to come. I would like to I'd like to hope that the folks here would help out with the helping to stamp out disinformation. It's easy to hide behind our screens and diss everybody in this building and who is working here. And I think a lot of folks that have been elected will get here and realize that, no, we're not sneaking around in the middle of the night and nobody's doing anything illegal. Everybody here, I'd put this bunch up against anybody on the planet as far as integrity and doing the job of 2 and 3 people at a time per person. And I hope that once they're here and they see that and the folks that are here get involved, that they'll put that on social media with as much enthusiasm. We'd like to support the folks that are here. I appreciate the 19 years. And I did not mean to disrespect the chair. I came directly from work. But I will also say, kind of along those lines, this T-shirt, this is a dear young friend of mine that I was helping mentor, that the world got a little too ugly for him, and he decided to check out this month. May have been 30 years old. So there are a lot deeper problems than the ones we come here and argue about. Try to be kind to one another. I appreciate you coming and being involved.
I would like to say just one thing.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that we do mandated by the state. Don't have a choice.
Yeah, it gets difficult. There's a lot of things you wish you could just come up here and this is right, this is wrong, we should be able to handle it. And it takes 5 years of trudging through
Yeah.
government regulations a lot of times. So there's a lot to learn once you get here. And, but I'm sure you'll do a fine job. Well, same as the planning and zoning. You come here and you ask, you get online, see what you can find. Come here and ask, don't, you know.
But even your phone number. When I meet and greet, I called every app. So the website has to. I called here.
Bless her heart.
I called here and it was taken care of, but the website has to be updated.
Sure. And that's, you know, that's another thing with small staff trying to keep up, but I'm sure we're working on that best we can. All right. Anything else, Karen? All right. Thank you all for coming.
Motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
All right. Thank you so much.